Hi, this is Millan, and I want to welcome you to today's video where I am going to talk to you about one of the most important teachings I've ever had in my life, and it comes from Tony Robbins. So stick around and watch the video. Hey, welcome back. So I've been following Tony Robbins for a few years now. He's probably one of my greatest gurus, my greatest sources of inspiration. And whenever I need to feel good about my mission, whenever I need to feel good about myself and about where I'm going, about what I'm doing, about who I am, I go to Tony. He has content for every single thing, need that you may have. When it comes to health, when it comes to business, and I just love his seminars. So recently I attended Date with Destiny, which if you've been to Date with Destiny, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments of this video. But I have to say it's probably his most life-changing seminar. Now, before you even think about going to Date with Destiny, if you haven't been to any of Tony's seminars, I have to tell you, please just first go to UPW, Unleash the Power Within. If you go to his website, you can look at the event schedule, and I cannot recommend him enough. I love Tony. And in today's video, I want to talk to you about something that I learned at Date with Destiny. You see, what Tony does is amazing because he's able to look at a person, at a human being, at our psychology, and break it down in a way that it's so simple that you don't need to go to study psychology for years or read a bunch of books, although I do recommend a few books on psychology. He will put it in a way that is so simple to understand, and when he puts it out there and tells you how your mind is actually working, how you give meaning to things in your life, to events that happen in your life, to the way you act, he puts it in a way that you can understand it very easily. And not only that, I cannot, my hands are a bit cold right now, so I'm not, yeah, there you go. But just like this, you can change that. So if you think that, oh, I am this way, I am that way, there's no way I'm ever going to change, you're wrong, my friend, because you can change, and it's beautiful. So I could make a ton of videos, and I probably will make a ton of videos about this. But right now I just want to focus on one thing, and that is our values and our rules. So all of us have values in our lives, and we have rules in our lives that dominate our behavior, dominate our actions. And for example, I'll give you an example. What are my rules? What are my values? What are those things in my life? And the way you need to ask this is this way. What have I valued the most in my life? Or what do I value the most in my life at the present time? And it was an exercise that we had to do. And so I started thinking, okay, I value love very much. And I value honesty. And I value transparency, respect. I value integrity. I value adventure. You know, think about all the things that you value. I said, I value spending time with people I care about. I value courage. Now, I'm trying to think from the top of my head, but I made a huge list. I probably put about 15 to 20 values. I value happiness. I value joy. I value fun. I value having different experiences. So you make a list of all of this. What is it that you value the most in your life? Do you value success? You know, I value being successful. I value helping other people, and so on. So I made a really long list. And then what you do with this list, you have all these things that you value in your life. And then you make a list next to each thing you value. First thing you need to do is just rank those things. You take everything you wrote and you take that list and you rank it. What's number 1? What's number 2? What's number 3? What's number 4? And so you look at what you value the most and what you value the least. But you know, they're all things that you value. And there are certain moments in your life where some values are going to come out of that list and then they're going to go back on that list, and sometimes number one is going to have to change because of whatever's going on in your life. And so the next step is that we had to do was looking at our values and then putting rules. What has to happen in my life for me to feel love, for me to feel like I'm successful, for me to feel honesty, for me to feel integrity, for me to feel success, for me to feel transparency, for me to feel like I'm helping other people, for me to feel happiness? So what has to happen in your life? And it's pretty incredible, because we don't really do this consciously. Like, most human beings never ever take a time to analyze this. So you're watching this video, you're probably 1% of human beings who ever do this. So you take that and then you start looking at your values with your rules. So what has to happen for me to feel love? So I'll give you an example. When I made that list, when Tony made us make that list of our current values, because here's the beautiful thing, you can change those values, you can change those rules. So here's what happened. I wrote, okay, I value love. Love is my number one value. Love, giving love, receiving love, it's really important to me. And that's why I put so much love and passion into these videos that I make, right? Because it's who I am. And so what I wrote was, okay, for me to feel love, others have to show me that they love me. This is what I wrote in my past rules, what had to happen for me to feel love. Others had to show me that they loved me. Others had to tell me that they loved me. Others had to thank me when I did something loving for them. In other words, I had all these rules where for me to feel love, I was depending on other people. You see where this is going? I had to get other people to say they loved me back. I had to get other people, could be my boyfriend, my family. I had to get other people to show me that they felt that for me. I had to get other people to thank me if I did something for them, and then I would feel loved. See? So once you do that with all of your values, and then success, what happens is sometimes we have this value. It's great to value success. I value success very much. So what had to happen for me to feel successful? What us human beings do, we make it so difficult for us to feel all these amazing things. For me to feel success, I had to be, making 5-6 figures. I had to get to $1 million. I had to be the number one affiliate in this and that. I had to successfully, have other people tell me I was successful. I had to get an award. I had to get this and that. I'm just giving you some examples. I don't remember right now what I wrote. But we make it so difficult for us to feel good, and that's why we feel bad most of the time, because all these rules that we put for those values to really enter our experience are just so damn hard to accomplish that we barely feel love, we don't feel successful, we don't feel honesty, we don't feel integrity, we don't feel happiness, we don't feel joy, we don't feel any of these things because we've made it so difficult with all those rules. You see? So that exercise was really amazing, because I looked at it and I was like, oh my God, for me to feel successful, I'm depending on other people telling me I am successful. For me to feel love, I'm depending on other people telling me they love me. And that's just hard, because if you live your life constantly expecting things from other people, what do you think is going to happen? Can you control what other people do, say? No, you can't. So what do you need to focus on? You need to focus on what you can control. So how can you feel love? And the next thing you need to do, you look at that current ranking, you look at all the rules that you've placed for you to feel those amazing things, and you realize, oh my God, this is so hard. What is the next step? You may want to look at making a new ranking of those values. Now here's another important distinction that I didn't make yet, so I'm making it now. We have those things that are most important to us, and we want to feel them constantly. We want to feel love. We want to feel like we're successful. We want to feel, all those things. But then there are things we don't want to feel. So the way Tony calls them, he names them our towards values. So things that we move towards, things that we'll do anything to feel, to have. And then we have our away values, things that we'll do anything to avoid because they're too painful. So for me, for example, I had among my number one values was rejection, fear of being rejected. I had being ignored, feeling like people ignore me. And it's not about, when I say feeling ignored, it's not about gaining a lot of attention from the media or from you guys watching this video, but from people close to me. When people really close to me, friends or people I really admire and appreciate, ignored me, and then I felt bad. And I started looking at that, and once again, all these things that I was feeling bad about were things that other people were doing to me. So I was making it really easy to feel bad and really hard to feel good. You see where this is going? I mean, it blew my mind when I realized that, oh my God, I am making it so easy to feel bad and making it so hard to feel good. What if you turn that around? And then the next thing you need to do after you make that list of all the things that you will do anything to avoid, you list the rules, what has to happen for you to feel unsuccessful, what has to happen for you to feel rejected, and you realize, oh my God, this is just, I'm making it so easy. And then it all starts making sense. And then when you look at your towards values, the things I want to feel, I want to accomplish, I want to have in my life, and then you look at the things that you're moving away from. And then, for example, this is a really clear example. If success is among your number one values, or it's your number one value, number one thing for you is success, you want to be successful, but then your number one fear, your number one away value is rejection or fear of failure, what do you think is going to happen? How easy it is to fail? It's pretty easy normally, right? So if you have number one success, but you have number one failure, that means you're running away from failure. And if you're constantly avoiding failure and avoiding rejection, what do you think is going to happen? Are you going to achieve success without rejection, failure? No, my friend. So once you have those two lists, you start rearranging them. So you look at, okay, wait a minute, I cannot have this as my number one if this is my number one. You see? So you have to rank them in a way that they make sense, that there is no problem with the hierarchy. There has to be a hierarchy, but you need to look at it and it has to make some sense. If success matters that much to you, your number one away from cannot be fear of failure or rejection. And then, once you modify the rules, you look at that and then you start modifying the rules. So for me, for example, when I looked at, okay, my number one is love, what do I have to do to feel love now? And you make it all about what you can do and not what others have to do. Because then what happens? You spend your entire life expecting things from others. And here's another golden nugget for you. Trade your expectations for appreciation. Trade your expectations for appreciation. If you stop expecting things from people, from life in general all the time, and you keep letting yourself down, or you keep allowing others to let you down, and you start appreciating every single experience, bad or good, in your life, you just have that's the way you live an extraordinary life. That's the way you do it. So you look at that and you start adding those new rules. So for me to feel love, I no longer need other people to tell me they love me. I feel love when I give love to others, when I do something special for someone I love, when I am loving, when I hug people, when I tell people good things, when I encourage people, when I tell my partner that I love him. And it just, boom, your life is going to absolutely become extraordinary if you can do this. And then take success. What do I have to do to feel successful? Well, I no longer need other people to tell me I did a good job or I'm successful. Now for me to feel successful, I just have to make something happen in my business every single day, no matter how small or big it is. But if I just do one thing for my business every day, I will feel successful. If for you to feel successful, you feel like you have to make $1 million every day, you're just making it so hard to feel successful that you'll never be successful. You see what I mean? You see where I'm going? Now, you have to do this yourself, and I'm just giving you these examples here, but you need to sit down and you can take a few hours and do this exercise. Of course, I would say go to Tony Robbins, But if for any reason, maybe you don't have the financial situation right now to go to his event, or the health to go to his events, I just really wanted to share this with you, because I think it's one of the most extraordinary teachings that I've had from Tony. You know, just opening my eyes and realizing, oh my God, this is why I don't feel happy all the time. And one thing there, you'll never feel happy all the time. I just thought I would bring that up as well. You don't have to feel happy all the time. Here's another golden nugget for you. Perfection is the lowest standard in the world. It really is. By the way, my television is on right now just for some lighting. This room is really dark because it's getting dark outside. So if you see these lights on my face, it's because I left the TV on just for lighting. Yeah, I need to buy new lights for my studio at home. But anyway, to wrap this up, you do that with your towards values. Okay, what I have to do, what has to come from within, from me, to feel love, to feel success, to feel honesty, to feel integrity. Okay, and then on the other hand, what really is, because maybe it was fear of rejection for you. The number one thing you were avoiding was maybe rejection. Maybe it shouldn't be rejection. Okay? But what is it that really you need to avoid the most in your life so that it can be extraordinary? For me, now it's no longer being ignored or rejected. Now for me, it's fear and frustration. I realized I was getting so frustrated so easily in my life. And the moment I realized that, I was like, wow, I need to stop getting frustrated so easily. And I was getting frustrated not from my own actions, but mostly because of other people doing things that made me frustrated. You see where I'm going? It's just, and then what do? You go ahead and you make new rules. Okay, I'm only going to feel frustration if I'm consistently under the illusion that something that happened outside of me is going to dominate my world, or that something that happened right now is something that I cannot control and that I think I can control. You know, you just need to sit down and just really write it down in a way that makes sense for you. But I will only feel frustrated, you know, so you make it really hard. Don't pretend that you're never going to feel frustrated, or that you'll never suffer or feel pain. Those things are part of life. But what is the choice? What's our choice is staying and dwelling in those feelings. So for me, what I was doing, I was dwelling in frustration, I was dwelling in fear, I was dwelling in rejection. And maybe you wouldn't think that about me, because you watch my videos, you know, you see how passionate I am about what I do, you see that I am successful. But I had these things inside of me that were just broken. Right now I'm just opening up to you. Because I want to help you discover that too, because I truly believe it can change your life. I do really think so. So then you take all those things that you want to avoid and you make it really hard for you to feel them. Really hard for you to feel them. So then now I will no longer be frustrated just because somebody didn't match my expectations. I will get frustrated so easily, disappointed so easily, just because somebody didn't do or say what I expected them to do or say. So then you don't make it about that anymore. And then you realize it's just an illusion, and most of the time it's just in your head. Especially for us women. If you're a woman, you're watching this video, then you know that for us, you know, our brain just works so differently from men sometimes. And when we say no, sometimes we really mean yes. And we expect other people to really interpret that, but then how are they going to crack that code if we're not clear? I could make a whole other video about that, but for today I just wanted to leave you with that. Values and rules. How you can make your own values and rules to live, to enjoy the most extraordinary life that you can imagine. And I can see it already. I've been taking some baby steps since I returned from Australia for the seminar. I only got home I got home 6 days ago. So the first couple of days I was just adjusting back to my time zone because it was just crazy being 13 hours ahead of time in Australia and coming back home, and it was just entirely upside down. My day is my night and vice versa. So I started making those little actions and just reminding myself every day of those things, and that, hey, I can control this. Why make it so that other people control the way I feel when I can control it? So that's something for you to think about. Thank you so much for watching this video. There will be more content coming up because I've been lagging behind. There's just so much I want to share with you, all of you. If you're new, if this is the first video you ever watched of me, thank you so much. Go ahead and explore my YouTube channel. I make videos in Spanish and in English. I'll probably be separating my channels really soon, but for now you'll find all my content a little mixed up in the channel. I really do hope this message today has had some kind of impact and that you can implement it in your life. And I'm sorry about the lighting in this video. I just need to get new equipment. I'll be getting it soon. But what matters the most and what I tell people about videos is that it's not so much about the lighting. Yes, it is important. It's about your message. It's about conveying your message. So hopefully I was able to convey this message to you so that you can start implementing this in your life. Make that list of values, of the things you value the most in your life, the things you move away from the most in your life. Look at your current rules. What has to happen now? And be honest with yourself, because if you're not honest with yourself, you know, you're just fooling yourself. I mean, it won't affect my life that you lie to yourself. It will only affect your life and the lives of the people around you. So be really honest when you make these lists of your current values. Look at them and then make a new list. Make new rules. And your life is going to transform, I can promise you that. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. There's always like a little logo down here somewhere, or you can just click the subscribe button below. And share this video with your friends, with your family, with anybody that you think will benefit from it. You can share it in your social platforms. If you're watching this on my blog, of course, leave me a comment. I would love to hear your comments. Make sure you subscribe to my newsletter as well. There will be a link here somewhere below the video where you can subscribe to my newsletter so you never miss a single update. And I look forward to hear about your transformation. This is Carolina Millan. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.